Thank you for your willingness to serve. We know the many people you help will appreciate your efforts. If you have a health condition or limitation that affects your ability to work, your immunizations aren't current, or you are under 14, you should not participate in disaster relief. 14 to 18-year-olds can help only if they are accompanied by an adult or have written parental permission. Before going to the disaster site, we want to go over some important guidelines that will prevent injury and help keep you safe. Working in a disaster area can be risky, so please be aware of the specific situations you will be going into. Try to be as prepared and as self-contained as possible. Bring ample drinking water and food. Wear clothing appropriate for the activity, including work or rubber gloves, sturdy boots, and protective eyewear. Some of these items may be provided for you at the site. If you own them already, please bring them along. Because accidents can occur while traveling to and from disaster sites, when en route, assign the person in the front passenger seat to monitor driving conditions, as well as the driver's ability to continue operating the vehicle. Consider rotating drivers at regular intervals. If available, consider taking public transportation to the site. Just make sure you know when the last bus or train leaves for your return journey. If you do end up driving yourself to the disaster area, please drive carefully within the site and make sure to never work in condemned buildings. While on the site, it is important that you always follow your designated leader's instructions. Only work with the written consent of property owners and within the approved official disaster assessment and work order. Your focus should be on cleanup, not reconstruction. Be cautious and avoid areas where there's a high risk of falling, especially when working on roofs with steep inclines. When lifting or moving large items, be sure to use proper lifting techniques to avoid injury. Ask the property owner to turn off electricity at the source in the event of water damage or in the presence of live electrical wires and energy. Never go near a downed power line. Overexposure to mold can lead to infections and even lung disease. If you work in moldy or dusty areas, always wear a properly fitted N95 mask, which will be provided to you at the site. Do not work in contaminated areas that are less than 10 square feet or 3 square meters. Watch out for unstable structures and surfaces, broken glass, and nails. Also, smell for any propane or natural gas leakage. If you need to use generators, camp stoves, charcoal grills, or other equipment that produces carbon monoxide gas or flames, use them in open spaces, not around any leaking gas. Avoid contact with hazardous chemicals. Use protective equipment as a barrier against all bloodborne hazards such as contaminated water, drug paraphernalia, and open sewage. If you see any standing water, work around it and do your best to keep your feet dry. Also, wash your hands frequently with soap to avoid any contamination. Always make sure to use insect repellent against insect-borne diseases. As well, be careful of wild or abandoned animals. Chainsaws should only be used by specific assignment and only by adults who have experience operating them. When using a chainsaw, make sure to wear your chaps, work gloves, and hearing and eye protection. You should also have someone nearby who can supervise your work. They will be able to spot hazards and help keep you safe. If you do get a wound of any sort, make sure to clean and cover it properly so that it doesn't get infected. Report any and all injuries to your designated leader and seek appropriate medical care as needed. So remember, stay hydrated, bring water and drink plenty of it. Stay alert. Take breaks to avoid fatigue, both in the car and on the disaster site. And stay safe. If you're not sure about something, ask your designated leader for direction. Thank you again for your willingness to help.